Hey guys, welcome to High on the Hog. This is the first ever video on the channel. I'm your host Sawyer Dillinger, alongside longtime friend that I've known for quite a while now, and co-host John Dillinger, my father.
Hey guys,
You
how are
want to
y'all?
say something? Okay.
Happy to be here.
All
Guinea
right.
pig.
So guys, for the first episode, we're just going to be doing a preseason schedule review, what we think about the schedule, how it's set up, the teams we're playing, and how we think the team as a whole is going to do, and maybe get some keynotes on individual players and things like that. But we both have our own different opinions on the season, and I think I'm going to throw it over to John, and he'll go first for us.
All right. Well, I've been looking forward to this season. Um, Ready to get the taste out of my mouth from last year. Very disappointing season last year, and I think we're going to have a much better season this year. I think hiring Bobby Petrino was a great addition to the staff. Couldn't imagine a better hire to you know boost the offense. I think that'll give the defense a lot more, um, you know, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? A lot more confidence. They know they're not going to have to try
Yeah,
to win
yeah.
the games on their own and everything. So, looking down the schedule, I really like the schedule this year. We don't have Alabama, we don't have Georgia. We do pick up Tennessee, we pick up Texas, but I like playing both of those teams. I was looking, and I got this off Chat GPT, so I don't know that it's accurate, but we play both of those teams pretty good. I'd say they beat us about twice as many times as we beat them, but it's both those series are competitive series, and as a Razorback fan, you just love to beat Texas.
No,
So,
nothing better in the world. Not a better feeling.
all right. So, I'm going to give you one rundown of the schedule, but I think I've got a best case, worst case scenario, and then what I think is going to happen. So, my best case scenario is I think that we could go possibly 10-2.
That'd be a big step up from the 4-8 season
Now,
or whatever.
if we go 10-2, that's probably putting us in the 12-team playoff.
No doubt about it.
So that would be awesome.
That would be.
But again, that's best case scenario, and as Hog fans, we know that's typically not
gonna
happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Best case 10-2. I think worst case is 6-6.
I'm with you
I
on
don't
that.
think that to say that. Like I saw Trey Biddy picked us to go 5-7. What you're saying is that Bobby Petrino is only worth one more win over last year's team.
Yeah.
And to me, that's crazy to think. Now, it's possible, and I'm not saying Trey's crazy. He's good at his job. But I just don't think that's probable. Last year, when you look at last year's team, we lost 5 different games, was it, by 1 point?
I think 6.
I mean, 1 score. So, if you take and just go 3-2 in those 5 games, then, we're a 7-win season. It's a much different outcome. So, anyways, I think the offense is going to be much better. So, best case 10-2, worst case scenario 6-6. What am I picking? I'm picking us to go 8-4. So I'm going to run down the. Is that what you want to do?
Run down
schedule?
each game and just say a little bit about what you would hope for.
So coming up this Thursday night in War Memorial, Little Rock, UAPB. It's a game that we thought about going to, but just not going to do it. We're going to watch it from the house. That should be a very sound victory for the Hogs. Then we got to go on the road to Oklahoma State. But Oklahoma State, although they're a top 25 team, I believe, projected to be top 25, maybe even top 10. They were in the playoff last season or close.
I don't know.
They're a real good team. They're estimated to be a playoff team this year.
Running back is insane.
All that being said, I think we're going to beat them. I think we're going on the road and we're going to beat them there at their stadium. I'm not scared of a Big 12 team. Then we're going to play UAB. That'll be our first game at Fayetteville and Alabama Birmingham. Again, respect for they've got a program that's on the rise, but that should be another easy win for the Hogs. That's got us out to a 3-0 start. After that, we've got to go down to the Plains and play Auburn. And although I want to, in my heart, think we're going to beat Auburn, in my mind, I know Hugh Freeze is an excellent coach. He's going to have his team prepared to play. It's probably their SEC opener, home game and all that. So I've got us down for a loss there. In a close one. Hopefully it's a very competitive ball game. And, in that 10-2 series scenario, that's one of them I would flip.
Yeah.
After that, we're going to Jerry World down to Dallas to play the very last Southwest Classic football game there between Texas A&M and the Hogs in Dallas Cowboy Stadium.
Thank God.
AT&T Stadium, yeah. When we signed that deal, Texas A&M wasn't in the league, so it was a good thing for us. We were getting the exposure to play in Dallas. Our players was getting to play in a NFL stadium. We're getting to play in the state of Texas. Well, now Texas A&M's been in the league. They got in the league almost immediately after that.
Yeah.
And it just wound up being a road game for us every single year. So that's coming back to Fayetteville next year. But I'm giving us a W. A&M's got a new coach, and I think we've got a better situation than they do. We got their offensive coordinator, Bobby Petrino. So, and he's got free reign. See, Jimbo Fisher would not let him do everything he wanted to do there. Had a lot of restrictions on him. Here, he's got control. Sam Pittman says, defensive coordinator, you call the defense. Offensive coordinator, you call the offense. I'm going to manage the game.
Yeah.
And also, one of the reasons why I feel like we had a worse season last year is Sam had always been able to rely on Barry Odom as an experienced head coach to help him make those game management calls.
Yeah.
Last year, Odom was gone to UNLV, and he didn't have that guy on the staff. This year, and he said it in several interviews, he asked Bobby his opinion on all kinds of things. No doubt, and Bobby Petrino is one of the best game managers, clock managers, knows when to call a timeout.
No doubt about it.
Knows when to go for it. So he's going to be a huge asset for Sam. So I'm giving us the W there at Jerry World. Then we've got a couple of home games, and this is one of. So I said I like the schedule, and I do. But this schedule for us to be successful, we've got to win pretty much all of our road games because our home games are all pretty much tough.
Yeah.
As far as our conference games, we're going to get Tennessee in Fayetteville, and that's a game that I hope none of my Tennessee friends, I hope all of them watch it, but I hope they stop their ears up for this because I think Tennessee, they're loaded, they're looking good. If their quarterback is as good as they
say he is, he's going to be a problem.
Everybody else says he is. I've got that as a loss. And then another one that I hate to say, but I'm just trying to be reasonable. Back-to-back, Tennessee, LSU, that's tough. So I'm hoping that we have took care of business up to these two games because I've got LSU down as a loss as well. After that, we're going to go on the road to Mississippi State. Again, they've got a brand new coach, got a good
Jeff
coach.
Lebby.
From all what the pundits say and everything, he's been good everywhere he's been. He was a coordinator, right?
Couldn't tell you, to be honest with you.
I can't remember what he was doing last year, but anyways, I think we're in a much better situation with them. Last year, it was a 7-3 slugfest.
Yeah.
We should have won that game by 3 touchdowns.
Minimum.
I'm going to give us the win there. After that, come back to Fayetteville to play the other Mississippi school, Little Sis, and I look. Lane Kiffin's a great coach. We flirted with him a couple different times hiring him, and if we'd have hired him, I would have been just
ecstatic
and ecstatic and all that. But he is a great coach. But he's never won in the state of Arkansas.
Is that true?
That's true, and he's not winning this year. We're going to beat
Wow.
Ole Miss.
That changes
just
some
like
things.
we did the year before last. We'll probably be at that game live, but anyways, we're going to get the.
Might have to do a walk and talk.
Yeah, we'll do. We'll probably have to. That's probably trademark. We'll have to do a sit and spit or something like
Sit and
that.
spit, yeah.
After that, another home game against a good group of 5 opponent in Louisiana Tech. I haven't looked at them. I haven't looked at
Skipping
their
over
schedule.
Texas.
Oh, Texas. Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't on mine. That's why you said.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
that. Texas. That's at home, right?
That is a home game.
That's
That is a home game.
What am I going to say about Texas? All right, number 1, I hate Texas. Number 2,
Hometown.
And number 3, we're going to beat Texas and ruin their chances to get into the playoff because they'll be losing so late in the year, and they will already have lost to somebody that they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And then we're going to clean their clock and put Bevo on the barbecue grill. Yeah. Landon's going to turn him into some brisket, and we're going to be calling the Hogs.
Not to mention they're all dirty and none of them are good people.
After that, we're going to play Louisiana Tech.
Yeah.
And we're going to beat them too. And then we're going to wind up the season, at least the regular season, in the state of misery. And listen.
Sick to my stomach about this team.
This is a rivalry that my company that I work for promotes, and they're the ones that is the sponsor, for this rivalry, and all that.
Something like that, yeah.
But I'll tell you this, it's starting to become a rivalry in my mind because they beat us every year. And that's
not a rivalry, though.
Well, yeah,
that's a beatdown.
It really isn't probably much of a rivalry to them because they're beating us every year. But we go to this game quite a bit too. A lot of times, we'll
get sent out there.
Takes us there and all that. But talking to the Missouri fans, they don't really consider us a rival because we've not been playing long enough. Their rival is all the Big 12 schools and, Kansas. And I thought, my goodness, if Kansas is your rival, that tells you about your football program. But anyways, I can't pick us to win this game until we start winning this game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to call this a loss. I do not like Eli Drinkowitz. I think he's a dork. And but he's a very good football coach, and he's from the state of Arkansas. And if he was on our staff, we would love him. You know how that is.
Yep.
But he is definitely a Gus Malzahn nerd, and he's even more nerdy than Gus is. But that would be who I put us down for the 4th loss. Now, again, I said, in best case scenario, what 2 games do I think we would flip? I would think we would either win that Auburn game and then split LSU and Tennessee, or possibly win the Missouri game. Well, you're fixing to go through your rundown, and I'll ask you this after that. So that's my picks. We're going to go 8-4, get a good bowl game, win it, 9-4. Bobby's coming back. Everybody's coming back next year. We're going to win the national championship.
All right, that sounds good to me. That's made some good points. Might have flipped me on a few of my decisions, if I'm being honest. I didn't know Lane Kiffin's never won a game in Fayetteville. I was not aware of that. But yeah, that's pretty interesting. That might change me. I'm gonna give what I had. I'm gonna say what I had because I do think this is a probable outcome. But obviously, best case scenario, I'm right there. I think 10-2. If I was to pick 2 losses there, I would say it would be. I don't know. Tennessee's going to be good, and I don't know. We beat them last time we played, but I would say we'd lose to Tennessee and Missouri. If I was to pick 2 losses, I don't. I have 4 in a 10-2 situation.
Now, your older brother Landon picked them to go 12-0.
Yeah.
And I think your oldest brother Evan picked them to go like 0-12 or something like that.
I picked 12-0 last season, and we went 4-8. So I'm not going to do that anymore. I know the show is high on the Hogs, but I'm going to be conservative on the Hogs for this episode.
All right, tell me what you got.
All right. So UAPB, obviously, I mean, it's going to be a win, but personally, I don't consider this game a win if we don't beat them by at least 35 points. And I'm being serious.
So the line on this game is like 50-something. I don't think we're going to beat them by 50-something. I agree with you. I think it's going to be in the 30s. And I think it's just because we're not going to try to show Oklahoma State everything that we're going to do.
Exactly. That's the thing. If we don't beat them by 35 to 40 points, I don't know if I consider it to be a win. They're a Division I school, but it's Pine Bluff. They went 2-10 last year. They have a second-year head coach.
But you got a lot of new players, just like us.
A lot of new
50-something new players.
A lot of new players, and I have a whole list on UAPB. I've got a note, but I'm gonna save that for the next episode when we preview the Pine Bluff game, just as itself. But second year head coach, he's still trying to get his legs working. And yeah, it should be a dominant win. 35 points. I'll consider this game a win, but. Yeah, I definitely agree. We might not try to run the score up on them, but I think we should Oklahoma to Arkansas State this team. I really do. 77-4 or whatever that score was. It was brutal. But Pine Bluff, we get a win there. Now, here is where we both have the same controversial pick, Oklahoma State. I've not seen a single influencer, hog person. I've not seen a single TikTok. I've not seen anything of Oklahoma State losing this game. We are picked to lose in every single situation that I have seen.
Well, that's not good for our picks.
And I do not care. I could care less. We're starting this off with a controversial pick. Ollie Gordon, the second, third, fourth, however many Ollie Gordons there are. He's a fantastic running back. He's a preseason Heisman favorite within the top 10. And that's why I can see why everyone's picking it. But we're going to go to Stillwater, and we're going to beat them by 21 points. We're going to go there, and we're going to beat them. No, it won't.
The coach is a man. He's a full-grown
Mike Gundy is
like 50.
No. We're not going to beat them by 21. That's a little hopeful. But I do think we go to Stillwater, and I do think we have an upset there.
I like it.
Coming home, UAB at home. I mean, if you ain't picking us to win that game, give me what you're taking because it sounds fun.
Who was it? BYU.
Yeah.
Last year.
By
in one of those,
two
one of these
points.
Games that we thought, we should beat them easy and all that. So.
That's BYU though. BYU is a prominent a program that is. They're a good team. They are not somebody you want to schedule like Texas scheduled Michigan their second game. That's not something you want to do.
Playing Oklahoma State. I've never understood.
I don't understand why we did that either.
Tough. We should be playing 4 gimme games.
I want Alabama's schedule. They schedule 5 or 6. Kent State, Western Kentucky, HBCU, the Jacksonville Community College of Eastern Oklahoma. It's just random no-neck teams. Them and Ole Miss, they do it every year, and they act like they're good. It makes me want to fight them. But UAB, we need to run the score up here as well. I mean, we should beat this team. Not as bad as UAPB. They're, like he said, they're on the rise. They're a decent program. It's like their fourth.
What we're hoping is that the starters take care of business, and then the backups get to come in and play some
keep it close,
meaningful minutes, and that should allow UAB to score maybe
a little bit,
hold us a little bit, So as far as I'm concerned, I don't really care. I mean, I want to beat both these teams by at least 21 points. Don't get me wrong, but. Anyways.
Yeah, I agree. I think the starters should hold them to 21, or beat them by 21, excuse me. And if we put some second stringers in there to just get some time, that's fine with me. I don't expect them to blow UAB out. And if I'm not wrong, UAB, this is like, it's They've not even been a program for 10 years now.
Not very long, no. And you know, so and Birmingham is a hotbed for football talent. So I mean, they ought to have a good football program.
They ought to be good, and
UAB fan.
yeah, and I remember when they took the program out. I mean, it didn't last very long. It was like 2 years before they reinstated the football program. But I hope they're here to stay, and I hope that they have a good season. I do wish them luck. You know, after yeah, just not for this game. Beat everybody, just not us. Going to Jordan-Hare Stadium, this might be a controversial pick as well. It's different to you. I do have us going to Jordan-Hare, and I have us pulling out a win. Hugh Freeze is a great coach, and I could definitely see this game going the other way. There's no doubt. I think I have us going 8-4. I'm gonna say it now, but I think that we go 8-4, 3 or 4 different ways. Honestly, I think there's many different routes to victory. But in my personal opinion, I think Auburn is one of the pathways and probably the most probable. We go to Jordan-Hare. They're one of it's a top.
You know they call it Jordan.
Well, then they're stupid. That's not how you.
They're from Alabama.
I mean, that's yeah. But you know, Jordan-Hare Stadium, it's a top 20 toughest place to play. So I mean, I could definitely see some struggle there. But I don't want to pick Auburn. I look at Auburn like I look at Kentucky, if I'm being honest, and I don't look at Kentucky very high. I'll say that. Going to Arlington, I don't know if this is a home game or it's always an away game to me. It's the last year, like you said. Finally,
I think we are the away team, I believe.
Yeah, and I'm with him on this. I think we in that series of going to Dallas, I think we put a smile on Jerry's face and maybe get some more money out of him, and I think we come home with a win. We need some checks, please, Mr. Jerry. But yeah, I think we go to Arlington the final time. I think Coach is going to have us because Coach Pittman. He's a very Arkansas man. He wants us to win our rivalry games more than the other games, and he wants us to hold traditions and stuff. So I think he's going to have them ready to wallop A&M. I think we're going to beat that game convincingly.
I didn't think about until you just said that, but you know the trophy games that we play are A&M, LSU,
Missouri, and
Missouri. What's the other one?
Why am I forgetting? Yeah, it's LSU, A&M, Missouri. There's 4. I'm tripping out.
Maybe whatever the other one is, we don't have them on our schedule. Anyway, so I think those 3 are our trophy games this year. I guess I got us going 1 and 2 in our trophy games, don't I?
Yeah, and I think I'm not sure if it'll be a trophy game, but it's definitely Texas is definitely a rival.
Oh, that's the biggest
I mean, it's the
trophy.
biggest. If we don't put a trophy game for this year, it'll be one in the next because this is some
That
some
rivalry
deep,
is so
some
old, it don't need a
old
trophy. It's just
fashioned
good
hatred.
old-fashioned-
I
That's what
mean,
was gonna say.
old-fashioned hatred. I mean, I don't think either of us
I
can
don't
stand
know
each other.
whose rivalry that is. It's called that, but it's my favorite name for a rivalry.
It is. It's
Good old-fashioned.
just. I mean, that's the way this game is. It's definitely just some hatred. But
Did you hear what,
I'm not even near that game yet, though. So
Steve Sarkisian said about Arkansas fans.
yeah, I
He
watched
said
that
he
interview.
thinks, that Arkansas hates Texas more than they like Arkansas.
That is a true
I don't
statement.
know if it's true, but it's funny and it's pretty close.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. I do agree. If I'm being honest, well, no, I love Arkansas. I mean, you can't make me not like Arkansas more than anybody, but I do. It's not very far apart. But yeah, I have us beating A&M at the last game in Arlington, and then we have a home game in Tennessee. And here's where I could flip-flop the Tennessee and LSU game, in my personal opinion. I do have us going, or not going, but I have us staying home playing Tennessee, and I have that game as a loss. That is a loss to me. I grew up in Tennessee. I grew up in Dyersburg, Tennessee, and, almost everyone we know are Tennessee fans.
Yeah, we got a lot of Tennessee fans.
And
Well,
so,
back when we lived there, it was during the McFadden and Jones. and
yeah,
Frank
we
Gillis
was living
backfield.
high dollar.
Everybody'd come over, we'd watch the football games at our house, and
Yeah.
everybody'd leave mad except for
For
us.
every
That was
time,
great.
yeah, it was great. We had it made. The quote goes, you don't know what the good times are until they're gone. And Darren McFadden definitely. I wish he would. Does he have any eligibility left, or no?
He don't.
He ain't got a son or
I
anything
wish,
that wants to
we
play.
could put him on staff. Let him coach them running backs.
That'd be awesome. That would be fantastic. But yes, so the reason I have us losing to Tennessee last year, we played worse at home than we did on the road. We played better on the road, and so we're just not a home. I mean, we're nowhere near toughest place to play unless you count it for Arkansas. I mean, like it's hard for us to win at home, but not for very many people. As much as I hate to say that.
And I don't understand that either. You know, like I said, we usually go to several different games. We've gone to, Fayetteville most of the time. We went to War Memorial last year too. We'll go if they're in Oxford. We'll go. Down there for that.
Terrible stadium.
But the thing about Oxford is, man, their crowd is more raucous.
They're loud
because they're all drunk.
I mean, no doubt about it.
Still,
Drunk and obnoxious, might I add.
But
terrible.
I think our DJ needs to do a better job. Like, pumping up the crowd. We need some kind of. I was thinking the other day. You know how like Virginia Tech's got Inner Sandman.
Yeah.
And I can't think of all the different songs that are really associated with the schools, but War Pigs would be a great song.
Fantastic.
For the Razorbacks to come out there.
I mean, it's a
pump
up hype rock song.
And if they don't
our
play
name in it,
Chris Stapleton's Get Down to Arkansas
Man,
at least twice a game.
burn the stadium down.
Yeah.
Riot in the stands, but
we got to get the crowd.
Yeah, we definitely need to do better at that. We play like weird pop and country and like random rap that's not good. I mean, and I say that as someone who unfortunately does like rap music, but
roasting the DJ right
yeah,
now. He's a real dude.
I was about to say he's got a family, but
just maybe change up.
yeah, just
songs.
Arkansas, War Pigs, and what's JD Clayton's song? Arkansas Kid or Arkansas Kid. Just give them something like that, all right? And I'll go into the LSU game now. So I have us losing it at home. It's the first conference game at home. We didn't play very well at home, so I have us losing Tennessee. I have us beating LSU at home. I'm going to say it now.
I can see that.
Many different
reasons.
reasons.
Those games that we play LSU good. You look at the I forgot what the schedule was. I mean, what the record was, but it was close. It was like maybe they've beaten us 25 times. We beat them 15 or something like that.
And all of our losses are by 3 points or a touchdown.
And a lot of their wins come all in a row during a downtime.
Yeah.
For us back in
15 to 19. I mean, not 15. 15 was a good year. Yeah, so that's the exact reason I have it. LSU, when they're super good and we're not that good, we beat them. When they're super bad and we're super good, they beat us. It's an unpredictable game, but I looked at LSU's schedule, and they're going to be undefeated up until the game before they play us. They have to. I don't remember if it's at home or if it's an away. I think it's at home. They have Ole Miss at home. I think Ole Miss is gonna. I think it's gonna be. I think Ole Miss is gonna beat their heads in. I really do. I think they're gonna beat them convincingly. It's gonna have LSU playing a little slower. They're gonna be down and defeated. They just had their undefeated season. Hope's gone, and so I think they're gonna.
I think they're gonna be down for us, and we're gonna be able to take it.
Yeah.
What was that linebacker's name for them that was in our backfield on every play last year?
I think he was a defensive lineman, but
I'm pretty sure it was a linebacker.
he's a freshman. I'm trying to think.
That dude was
Micah
insane.
Parsons Jr. or whatever his name was.
I don't think that was his name.
No, but
people down there are screaming it right now.
yeah, and I know it. It's on the tip of my
but
tongue.
Anyways,
but
I hope that guy's not as good as he was when we saw him play.
yeah, I was gonna say I hope he breaks something, but I don't wish that on anybody. But I mean, he is. If I'm being honest, I just hope he transfers to Arkansas because that would be incredible.
He's very good.
He is insane.
What he did the rest of the season,
Something Coleman maybe.
I was thinking his name was like Henry Jenkins or something. But he was in our backfield more than our tailback was. In fact, there was a couple of times he could have took the handoff. And he was, I don't know what he did the rest of the I think he had a good season, but he was definitely, his name was like Henry or, anyways. You ain't going to be able to find it because you're looking for it.
Yeah, it'd make it a lot harder. Harold Perkins.
Harold. See,
Harold
Jenkins?
Perkins.
Harold Perkins. That ain't much. That ain't far off.
That ain't too bad. Sorry it took me that long to find it. I looked up
That
LAU
dude's
for some
good.
reason, but he's an incredible player.
We need to get some. Although we've got a stacked linebacker core this year, from
what I've seen,
coaching
I
staff is
think we
saying,
might be the deepest linebacker core. Now we might not have a Harold
big
Perkins,
name, the big
but I
name.
think in terms of depth, we
I
have
think maybe
players
next
that can
year
play.
or the year after we could, because that freshman
Steven
we've got-
Dix Jr. and Danico's Danico's a cornerback, ain't he? Danico Slaughter. But-
what's the real highly touted like 5-star linebacker that's coming in? He's a freshman.
4-star. I can't think of his name, but he should be a 5-star. He's incredible. Because I seen the video of
It's our first podcast. We
Yeah.
don't have all of our
we
sheets out
we don't
there
have
like we
anything.
should. We didn't even know what was, how this was going to go.
We didn't practice beforehand. We're going off, but
All right, so we're beating LSU.
beating
Let's
LSU
go.
at home. It's a trophy game. We just lost it at Tennessee. And here's the thing. You could say, well, you're saying Ole Miss is beat them. That's why they're down. Y'all lost. Why wouldn't you could say that? But I think it's a home game. It's a trophy game. LSU is a rivalry to us that matters. I would say it's Texas and LSU. I think that's pretty fair. Our two
think so,
biggest
too.
rivals.
I always want to beat LSU.
Yeah, I think that Pittman's going to get us hopped up, and I think he's going to turn this game into a victory for us. Or
Then you got
Bobby
us losing
Petrino.
to Mississippi State, right?
I have us going to Starkville, and you are correct. Not in this one, but in somebody's, I'm sure. No, we're going to go to Starkville, and the Cowbells are going to die early. I'll tell you that right now. It's the most annoying tradition in college football. It's unlistenable. Starkville's a dirty place. It's full of just hookers and drug addicts. Starkville's not.
You've never been to Starkville.
I've never been to Stark. I'm really just going off. But no, it's the Cowbells that make it unwatchable. It's so annoying. It's just headache driven. But Mississippi State, I have us going there at first year. And I meant to say this as well for A&M. First year head coach Mike Elko is another reason I have us beating A&M. First year head coach Jeff Lebby. I don't know what school he came from, but it wasn't an SEC school, was it?
Seems like he was an OC at like Washington or somewhere like
Yeah,
that.
he's not. I don't think. I could be wrong. So put in the comments if I am. I don't think he's coached in the SEC, and coaching anywhere else is not the same. SEC is the NFL of collegiate sports, football mainly, but I have us going to Starkville, and I have us beating the dog snot out of Mississippi State. Bulldogs are going to be crying early. All right, so we come back home. We play Ole Miss. Now, I hate Texas the most.
So Jeff Levy was the OC at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, okay. Well, I mean, technically SEC, but not quite. Wasn't yet, but we have Ole Miss at home. I could definitely see us winning this. I wasn't aware that he had never won at home, so I mean, I might think different, but I am going to continue with my original plan. But I think this is the year that I blanking on his name, head coach. Lane Kiffin. I think this is his standout year. I do. He's got a fantastic team. Jackson Dart. I'm not that. He's good. I'm not the Heisman thinker that a lot of people are, but he is a system quarterback. He's going to be really good for him. And they've just, they lost Quinshon Judkins, which is a huge loss to Ohio State, but they also have their running back. I can't remember his name, but he's really good too. So they're not hurting on the running back position. Nick Saban left. Jim Harbaugh left. Dabo Swinney's been down for the past few years. There's other than Kirby Smart, there's not really a standout greatest of all time coach right now. People have to fill their position. I think Lane Kiffin is going to be that guy. I think he's going to step up. I don't want to say that because I do genuinely hate Ole Miss.
Very good.
I hate Ole Miss almost as much as I hate Texas. Their stadium sucks. The people suck. They're not good people. They're mean. They're not nice.
There were some nice fans, but the majority of them were not nice. At least the majority that interacted with us.
They're snobs.
There were some nice fans.
They're snobs. They think they're rich. They're a poverty program. But I do have us losing that game at Ole Miss or at home against Ole Miss. Going to Texas, or not going to Texas. Keep saying going, but having Texas at home. We just lost to Ole Miss. Again, we don't play very well at home. I hope to go, and it's making me sick to my stomach saying this. I want as a Hog fan. Matter of fact, I might skip over the Texas game, but we're gonna go past that. We're gonna win at Louisiana Tech.
So you got us back-to-back losses too, just later
Yeah.
in the season. I
Yeah.
had us at Tennessee and LSU back-to-back. You've got us back-to-back at
Yeah.
Ole Miss and Texas. But both situations, they're home games. We've got
Yeah.
a tough home schedule this year.
Yeah, I can't say the word, but I don't think we'll win at Texas, or against Texas. Steve Sarkisian's a good coach.
He is a good coach.
He's got, I mean, just a
Seems
5-star
like a nice
ridden,
guy, too.
yeah, 5-star ridden team. You know, the talent there is crazy. I mean, it's the University of Texas. It's the richest school in the SEC, even though they're terrible. Louisiana Tech, I mean, this is a gimme game. You know,
That's where a Duck Commander played football. Will
Will-
Robertson.
did he really?
Yeah, he was
I
a
didn't know.
quarterback. Terry Bradshaw.
Yeah,
was his
that's
backup.
true. That yeah, Terry Bradshaw.
won Super Bowls with the
Super Bowl
Steelers,
winning
and he couldn't beat
quarterback.
out Phil.
And Phil Robertson had him. Yeah, I
He's
forgot
lucky
about that.
Phil wanted to just quit and go duck hunting.
Yeah,
And of
yeah.
course, that was a good
And I mean,
call for Phil too.
you know,
Worked out for both.
some could say Phil Robertson is the reason that he did so good. I mean, he might have coached him up
If Terry
in
Bradshaw
high
had a
school.
mustache, he'd look like Hulk Hogan.
That is, yeah, that's true. We go to Missouri. Okay, at this point we are
You got us at
8-3 right now. Okay, I don't know what it is, guys. I'll be honest. I mean, Missouri, and I can't say that all these teams. None of them are good. The state suck. The joke's getting old, but Missouri. I mean, it truly is misery. I've driven on the roads. They've got the worst roads in America. They're terrible. They don't make no sense when you drive through their major cities. It looks like head-on collisions
They don't have any major cities.
everywhere at Kansas City, but
St. Louis.
yeah, there's a couple of them. Yeah, I just don't like them, but.
It's just not a funny joke.
Yeah, no. It looks like you're going to head-on collision with every single person there. So, anyways, we're going to go to Missouri. I don't think we've ever, in the history of Arkansas football, won in Missouri. If we have, it was when I wasn't alive. It's a forced rivalry. I don't look at it as a rivalry. I could see why you do. You know, you have some ties
Well,
in
I
it.
haven't until just this year.
Yeah.
I've decided, you know what, this is a rivalry.
Just want to beat them, really.
Yeah.
But, I mean, to be fair, I want to beat everybody we play.
Missouri leads the series 10-4. Again, this is according to USA Today, so maybe that's true. Missouri won the very first game against us in 1906. They won the last game against us in 2023. Well, so they're probably 11-4 because I think this is
Might have been a year. Okay. But yeah, we can't beat Missouri for the life of us. I don't know what it is. I truly do look at Missouri, and I'm not even saying this to be rude, as a povertized program. I don't think they're good at any sport they play. But for some reason this year, that like I said, that geek Eli Drinkwitz is awesome for some reason out of nowhere.
He's a nerd though.
Seemingly out of nowhere, he definitely plays Star Galactica in his free time while he's in his office. I promise. But
Battlestar Galactica.
yeah, same thing. That's sad that you know what that game's called. But anyways,
Your oldest brother's a dork.
Eli Drinkwitz for some reason decided that he was going to turn Missouri into a prominent program. I don't know if they are, but if they should be a preseason top 10 team. Missouri had a great year last year.
They've
Beat
dominated-
Ohio State.
They've dominated the East ever since they've come in. For the most part, of course, we don't have East and West anymore, and probably to their chagrin because they've come in and been the best overall, the best until Georgia, started being what they've been the last 5 years. But before that, Missouri was the best team in the East.
Beast of the East.
Since they come into the league.
Yeah, and it doesn't make sense to me because they've had terrible records. I mean, not terrible, but 6-6 is not something you want to hang your hat on. But yeah, Eli Drinkwitz decided that he was going to turn this program into a prominent top 10 program.
Here's the thing: you're too young to remember this, but Missouri was pretty good in the Big 12 when you was little. They had some good quarterbacks there for a while. If a camera wasn't on me, I could tell you their names. But they had a string of like 2 or 3 good quarterbacks. And Blaine Gabbard, maybe, is that a guy?
Never heard of him.
Maybe I'm thinking of Kelsey Gabbard.
Yeah. I'm about to say, she could be our quarterback. That'd be fine. She looked like she could throw a ball.
Missouri has had some success in the Big 12 and in the SEC, but yeah, there's just something about them. They just look. I mean, I look at them like Vanderbilt in Mississippi State, but they don't perform
Exactly.
like
It doesn't
Vanderbilt
make sense. I
in Mississippi
truly
State.
do that. I think of Missouri as I think of Vanderbilt and South Carolina and Kentucky. I don't think of them highly. But Brady Cook is he's also a preseason Heisman favorite. He's a great quarterback. They've got the best wide receiver in Van Luthenberg the third or whatever that kid's name is. I think that is his name, but they've got the best receiver, arguably.
Yeah, Blaine Gabbert was a guy.
Okay,
Chase
that's personal.
Daniel was the other one I was trying to think
Chase Daniel, I have heard of him, but yeah, Luther Burden, not Van Bert Luthendor or whatever I called him. What I just call his name? I just said his name. I forgot it.
Said somebody
Luther
Burden?
Van
Luther
Luther
Vandross?
something. I can't remember. I
Darn
just said his
dictionary.
name. But yeah, he's a great player. Missouri's going to return some talent. They have a good
They're gonna be
line.
good.
They've got a good defense. They've got good players around the field. They're going to be a 9-win, 10-win season. They could definitely be in the college playoff. And, yeah, they'll be contending. I think Georgia and Ole Miss will probably be the two. I think they'll be in the SEC championship game, but I would not be surprised if Missouri sneaks in there and replaces Ole Miss. So, I as well, I have us going 8-4, a little bit different, kind of the same, but a little bit different. You had us going against Texas and winning, and you had us losing to Auburn. I flipped those, and then you had us beating Ole Miss and losing to LSU, and I flipped those. But I think one of us will be right. I do. I think one of us has the path to victory, and
I would be happy with an 8-4 season
Yes.
for sure.
big step up.
Thrilled with anything above that. If we
Yeah.
could win 9 games this year, that would be so huge. Anything above that, of course, is crazy. I could see us going again anywhere between 6-6 and 10-2. And somebody said 5-7. I wouldn't think they're crazy. I'm just thinking. I think we're going to be better. So
Yeah.
I would be disappointed. I mean, honestly, I think 6-6 might get Sam Pittman fired.
I think so too. I think he can't do
I
it.
think 7 is the mark he needs to hit this year.
Yeah, and even then, I think it's still they'll have a conversation
if he
with
wins
him.
7 games, he'll be fine.
I don't think
That's
they'll fire
good.
him, but I think they'll have a conversation with him for a 7-win season. But yeah, I'm the same. I have screenshots. So if you're watching this and you picked us to go 3-7 or 3-10, whatever, I've got screenshots of you doing it. When we go and win the national championship, I'm going to show every single picture I have of you doing it when we win the national championship.
When we win the national championship, they're going to show your screenshot of 8-4 and go, "See, you didn't."
Well,
you didn't either."
I got 10. If you want me to be completely honest with you, John, and y'all, I've got us going 10-2, 12-0. I don't care.
No, you didn't. You
But
guys
this
are
is my
going
conservative
8-4.
pick. I did not want to start the High on the Hog channel with okay, I'm never watching these people again. These people are absolutely lunatics. Yeah, this is some home cooking. But I think we go 10-2. And I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now so that when we do, y'all can be like, he's right, and put your tinfoil hats on. Because Jesus might be coming back if that happens. But no, I do think that. Oh, he is. But 8-4, I think, is what we're going to go. And but I do appreciate you guys joining in. And before I go off, this is a point that I forgot to mention earlier. Dan Enos was our offensive coordinator last year. And I'm sorry, I know we're going over. I mean, I'm not sure how long we've been recording, but I'm going to say this. It's our first episode, and this is not going to be a highly edited podcast. This is all one take. So
We've
just
been going 44 minutes.
okay, yeah. This is going to be the least watched
Nobody's gonna
video.
watch this.
But yeah, okay. So I don't care. I think y'all will. I think Hog
Nobody's
fans are.
still watching. Say whatever you
No,
want to.
yeah.
Danny.
I'm voting Republican. Deal with it. No. So Dan Enos was the offensive coordinator last year. I don't want to be mean to the guy. He's got a family too. He is a father. That dude sucked. That was atrocious.
That's what gonna be mean.
That was like saying,
That was your nice.
yeah, that was saying, I don't mean this in a bad way,
I'll
but
say this. When we hired him, and again, I want to mention Trey a little bit because that's who I watch the most. I'm a
yeah,
fan. Trey
me as well.
But Trey was like, it's a good hire. John Neighbors, it's a good hire. Everybody was saying it was a good hire. Mike Irwin, all them guys, it's a good hire. It was a terrible hire.
It was awful.
I said it from day one. He wasn't good the last time he was here. Why would we bring him back again?
Yeah. And it doesn't make – he keeps getting these high jobs and keeps ruining programs. I don't – he was the coach at Alabama. He was the coach at Maryland. I'm not saying the head coach. He was the offensive – he was the assistant head coach.
Nah, maybe, but he wasn't even the offensive coordinator. He was like an offensive analyst or something.
Either way, he was at freaking Alabama. That's insane. He was –
more.
yeah, I mean, he keeps getting these great jobs and keeps underperforming. Dan Enos, I'll say this: last year we went was 4-6,
4-8.
4-8. I mean, yeah, I didn't even want to say it. I was homeschooled. We went 4-8 last season. You said 5. It's actually 6, unless I'm wrong, but I don't think I am.
On one-score games?
I think it's 6. I think I've seen somewhere.
I think I can tell you the exact 5 games.
Do you have the points?
So we beat Western Carolina 56-13. We beat Kent State 28-6. BYU was a one-score game, 31-38. LSU was a one-score game, 31-34. Texas A&M was a 12-point game, so that's not just 22-34. Ole Miss was a one-score game, 20-27. Alabama was a one-score game, 21-24.
Don't mind his jacked up pinky.
That's why I got it. Then we got Mississippi State, and the rest of them we beat. Florida, Auburn killed us. We beat FIU, and Missouri killed us. So it was 5.
So 5. So I was wrong, and I apologize. But so 4-8, 5 one-score plays.
Yeah, if we won all of them, it's a 9-win season.
If we won those games, it's a 9-3 season because there's 12 games in a regular season. So it's a 9-3 season. If you're telling me that Bobby Petrino, in my opinion and many people's opinions, I've seen it everywhere, the best offensive coordinator and a top 5 best offensive coach in college football as a whole is not worth 1 touchdown more than Dan Enos, you're sipping something that's illegal. I'm telling you right now, you can't do that. You can't tell me that Dan Enos is as good of a coach as Bobby Petrino. You can't do it. If you want my opinion,
I don't think Dan Enos' mama would say that.
I don't think his wife would. But, and I understand, well, I mean, no, Bobby Petrino would have beat those teams. I'm telling you now. I don't care. And if you want my personal opinion, I think Bobby Petrino's worth 3 to 5 touchdowns more than Dan Enos. I really do. But if I'm being conservative, I'm saying he's undoubtedly worth 1. There's no doubt about 1 and 2.
That would make the record a lot different, for sure.
And we would have been a 9-3 season. We would have had we would have had a bowl game, and we could have won that. And we could have had a 10-win season that way.
And we probably wouldn't have been hiring Bobby Petrino this year. So
No, we would, because we're saying Bobby Petrino would have been the coach.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Bobby Petrino, if he was the coach, and those are just the 1-point games, our defense won most of those games. If you don't put that much pressure.
I like T. Will. I like the staff, Deke, and all them
Yeah.
guys.
T. Will gets me excited.
Yeah.
And he could freestyle, y'all. Ain't no doubt about it. But that's just the 1-point games. I think, Bobby Petrino with our defense, it would have been a lot different season. But that's what I've got us going. We both got 8-4 different ways, 10-2 ceiling, 6-6 floor. But, thank you for coming to the hour-long rant about how how terrible the other SEC schools and how you're not a good person for voting for them. But, 8-4.
I like it.
I like it too. I think that's a big step. We don't call it low on the hog for a reason. High on the hogs, and we're here. We're sipping the Kool-Aid. We're drinking the tea. Call it what you want. 8-4. And each week, I want to say this. I'm trying to close. I can't. We're going to be doing a pre and post game video, what we think. We're going to record one soon before the game with Pine Bluff. We'll do that for every, and then we'll give an afterthought of how we feel like we did, key players that stood out to us. And but yeah, I hope y'all guys are excited. You know, deal with it. But yeah, I hope you guys are excited for this channel. I hope you stuck around. It's only been an hour. That's it. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, and I hope you enjoy the rest that we have coming. High on the hog, guys. Join us next time for the pre-game interview of Pine Bluff. And yeah, Woo Pig Suey, go Hogs.
Go Hogs.